rubber bullets.
What's up, guys? I'm Chris, and this is Regular Guy Training. Now, before this video starts, I'm going to invite you guys to just go ahead and go to the link in the description below before you watch the rest of this video and go straight to BitChute. Now, you'll notice that YouTube is stepping it up with their ridiculous practices. More channels have been deleted and all that stuff that fit very, very nicely in their whole terms of service and all that shit. So, I would say fuck that. Follow the link in the description below, go straight to this video at BitChute, and watch us there. With that being said, let's go ahead and start the video. Now, it's kind of funny because a lot of guys talk about the 20-inch guns as if, you know, they're only novelty pieces and that kind of stuff, and you can't use them as fighting implements because they're too long, they're bulky, and that kind of stuff. Well, same tone of voice. You have a lot of guys talking about RECCE rifles and stuff like that. Guns that they can do close range stuff with, but they can still reach out and touch things with. When a format for that is right here. Okay. Mostly because there's zero muzzle velocity loss, because this is the barrel that it was designed for. And you don't have to deal with that. You can automatically just reach out to greater distances and do stuff with the capability of doing things up close. Now, I decided to go from an iron sight only A4 build to this, mostly because of climate issues, but it's whatever at this point. But I'm just going to go from nose to tail and talk about all the things that I did. Some of you guys may have noticed right away that the bird cage has gone on this, and that's because I like PWS. This is a PWS FSC 556 Gen 2, and there will be a review on this before too terribly long, because I got another one of these on a 30 caliber AK that I've been messing with for a while too, my Malat. Kept the light on it, kept the front sight tower and all that, mostly because it's very robust, it's very easy to replace, and as far as lining up the gas block and all that, it's pretty dumb guy proof once you get down to the brass tacks. Kept these, even though there's duct tape wrapped around them to keep them from splitting, mostly because the dual heat shielding here is absolutely superb, and I've not really seen anything modern that does better than these. So, I mean, magazines back to back to back, and it still, it doesn't give a shit. So, there's that. Aimpoint Comp M4 with a American Defense mount. I decided to go with this over the Torx mount because this was cheaper and the design's better in my personal opinion. It's easier to adjust these from rifle to rifle as far as the mount is concerned, and I'll probably run a review on the American Defense mounts themselves. And it's easier to just simply take off if I need to. As well as the fact that, you know, a lot of people were talking to me about the Aimpoint Comp M5. Me personally, yeah, I understand as far as the Optic body is concerned, it's the toughest metal quality that Aimpoint has ever put out. And my initial opinion really on the Comp M5 is it's kind of dumb, because if you want to go smaller, get a T2, right, or even a T1, but T2 is better with parallax and all that stuff. This is better than the T1 by a lot on the parallax thing. So there's that, as well as the fact that it's very, very difficult for soldiers and Marines to break these. And if it's very, very difficult for soldiers and Marines to break these, then you sold me. Okay, soldiers and Marines break fucking everything. Lastly, a lot of guys are just kind of like, oh, well, it's using a more common battery and blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry, but in my 10 years of military experience, yes, I'm 27. Yeah, no, I look like I'm 12. I just hit puberty. I've never used a AAA battery ever. Okay, it's 123s and AA's. So that cobbled together with the absolutely absurd battery life on the Comp M4. Like, I bought a package of 8 lithium AA batteries, right? and before I use the batteries in that package, the shelf life on them will have expired by lot. Okay, so it's I don't know. It's kind of hard to sell me on the new whiz bang thing. That's more expensive than these, not by much, but more expensive than these, and for what, a little bit stronger of a freaking um, optic housing. I'm good, me personally, especially with the battery load up location. Say whatever you want about how, oh, it would have messed with the mounts and all that stuff. Well, originally the Comp M4 had it in that location because the battery compartments messed with the mounts, and look what happened. Oh shit, it's lower. Could have learned from your own. You could have learned from your own previous findings. Redesign it a little bit, waited a little bit longer, and come out with it in a more decent location that's less likely to get the fuck beaten out of it and obstruct vision. So I'm sorry, you didn't sell me on that. Freaking LMT rear sight, because I like the drum, and as far as aesthetics are concerned, it just fits with the whole package. Raptor ambi controls as far as full length throw levers. A Norgon ambi control, as you guys can tell. I'm a southpaw, so I like my ambi controls because I can do both things the same way on either side. And I decided to shorten up the A2 stock to an A1 stock, and you'd really be amazed how much this much, okay, shorter a length of pull really helps. It does. Just looking at it, it's like, whatever. But once you've shouldered it, it matters. And it's very difficult for me to just sit here and explain. I would just suggest that you go do it and see what there is to see. Now, I got an older setup of A1 style stock that's minus the trapdoor and the teeth, mostly because I can understand why guys will want to go the other route. But the teeth in those stocks, most of the time, as far as just me doing reloads and stuff, the teeth in those stocks that like to grab onto things still like to grab onto things as far as this is concerned. So, and I can understand why guys would want to keep it. That's just my personal preference. That and a sling swivel that actually moves. I prefer that over one that doesn't. So, oh, and I kept this. So, this is still on a PSA premium kit, so all of the internal parts and all that crap are kept. And it runs like a fucking boss. Okay, with military ammunition, like there's XM193 in this right now. Yes, there's XM193 in this right now, and this ammo comes screaming out of this rifle. Screaming out of it, as it was designed to. And even if I'm shooting wolf or whatever, it cycles it just fine. There's no cycling issues at all. But at the same time, holy shit, because it's like slightly reduced powdered stuff, like I'm just right here the whole time with military ammo, so you can imagine how much softer it shoots with like wolf or whatever. So, and this is just giving me more of a reason to shoot this thing, because to me, as far as like my ARs and stuff go in the house, this is like the rifleman's rifle right here. Okay, this is the rifle that I can reach out and hit stooges farther away with and still have the capability to shoot things up close. And for those of you that don't think I can, well, come to a class and we'll see whether or not I can. So it's whatever. But let me know what you guys think. I really like this setup. For some of you guys, it may look ugly as sin. For me, I think as far as aesthetics are concerned, it absolutely friggin' works. And aside of the whole climate thing being the main reason to switch this over, even if this was just a boredom project, I would have still probably have gone this route anyhow. I had tinkered with the thought to put a Surefire dual port brake out there just to flatten it out as flat as humanly possible. And then I decided, you know what, it would be like putting a 24-inch barrel on there. I'm in diminished returns land. It might have been overkill for no real reason. That muzzle device is a little bit longer, so it would have made the length thing a little bit more difficult. Now, there are certainly a couple of cons as far as just like both pushing the gun and getting it to stop, because it's a telephone pole out front, and because it is longer, it does take a little more effort to do both of those things. But it's not like it's a big deal. Okay, you're talking fractions inside of fractions of a second on how much slower it is compared to like a 14.5 or something. So it's whatever. Now, let me know what you guys think. I really like the setup, so I'd be interested to see what you guys think of this. And the more that I have interest in shooting that thing, the more rounds are going to get put through it, and the closer that we get to a longevity test, which for me is 10,000 rounds or more. So there you go. Now, if you want to get training on your individual rifle or your pistol or whatever, we certainly do have a lot of stuff lined up for you. I will admit it's more pistol stuff than anything else, mostly because, let's be real here, pistol is what most people are, it's what I see people are the most interested in, and that makes sense because, we carry them around and all that. But the rifle courses are still out there. So there's a long list of stuff that's getting ready to go down. In 3 weeks, we're going to Del Rio, Texas, and we still have a few slots open for that. So if you want to go ahead and grab a slot on that, they're still open. So, I got a link in the description below for the website, and you can go find it there. I'm working on, this isn't here quite yet, but I'm working on a rifle class going down in late August for Arkansas. We're going back to Buds again in mid-June for Pistol 1, for those of you that want to go do that. And then as far as the month of September, we're going friggin' everywhere. And a lot of you guys may have noticed that, that we kind of stopped at September and didn't plan out. The fiscal year for the Army starts in October. So I have to wait until that schedule gets pushed before I can do the rest of the year. But when it comes out, obviously I'll fill the gap. But the month of September is fucking stacked because we're going to Louisiana for shotgun. There's still a couple of slots open on that. We're going to Maine for Pistol 1 and 2. We're going to Montana for Rifle 1 and 2, for those of you that are still interested. We have a low-light, no-light class in Lexington, Kentucky again, mostly because it's an indoor range and I can just snap the lights on and off whenever I want. So if you're interested in that, because lots of guys are begging, borrowing, and stealing time in the dark, there you go. And there's a few things here and there. Just go to the link in the description below and you'll find all of it. So there's that. If you want to support us through Patreon, you can absolutely do that. A good way to take advantage of us and get as much training as you want from us is to sign up for the $35 a month program. I'm not going to say it doesn't benefit me because it's consistent money, right? But all you have to do is math and figure out, oh, well, for the price of a little more than 2 classes, I can train with this guy for as much and as long as I want. There are guys on like their 10th class already. So it's a system designed to be abused. Go abuse it. And so that you guys know, if you don't want to do that route, those of you that throw like the one-times here and there, we take that money and we throw it towards training up soldiers, as far as just bringing them in, training them for free, paying for flight, food, bullets, equipment, all that. And additionally, something that has nothing to do with Patreon, if you're a school resource officer or a teacher that's permitted to carry on school grounds, we train you for free forever. Now, if you want to take advantage of that, certainly shoot me a link, or correction, an email, which you can find on the website. Like an email address you can find on our website. Just pull up any of our classes and contact information's at the bottom. There will be a little bit of a verification process for sure, but it's as simple as that. And for those of you that are already $35 a month people, if you want to register for a class, just send me an email and we're good. Like send me an email, be like, I want to go to X and Y and Z. Okay, cool, I'll put you on the roster. It's not that big of a deal. All I do is verify whether or not you're that guy. So, simple enough, right? Now, if you want to check us out on Facebook, we're certainly there. Again, link in the description below. And again, I'm going to highly suggest that you go ahead and go to BitChute and subscribe to us there. All of my content that's here goes there, and some content that I can't do on YouTube goes there as well. So, that being said, guys, remember, regular guy's firearm is the last defense against tyranny. Be easy. Fuck muzzle velocity loss.